Ferrari has limited options to promote its young drivers, while Martin Whitmarsh has returned to F1. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our official home on unbeaten.com. Ferrari team boss Mattia Binotto has lamented the lack of opportunities to promote its driver academy members to F1, with the Scuderia no longer able to influence the second seat at Alfa Romeo. The prancing horse is flush with promising young talent, but has just one seat beyond its own work squad at Haas, with Mick Schumacher placed at the American team. There are 8 drivers on the Scuderia's list, but Callum Ilott is signed to drive in IndyCar next year, while Robert Schwartzman and Marcus Armstrong need options beyond F2. But Binotto says that more needs to be done to remove the bottlenecks, even though next year teams will be forced to run young drivers in FP1s. There are not many alternatives. I think if a driver is very strong, he is always finding somehow an opportunity. But it's something on which we need to help the introduction of rookies in F1, he said. Former McLaren team boss Martin Whitmarsh is set to return to the F1 paddock in Green as new Group Chief Executive Officer of Aston Martin Performance Technologies. Whitmarsh, now 63, was part of McLaren from 1989 to 2014, when he was ousted in an internal coup staged by Ron Dennis. In the intervening years, the pragmatic, level-headed Brit joined the fight for the America's Cup as CEO of Ben Ainslie Racing, then in sustainable energy via the UK's offshore wind growth partnership. But more recently, Whitmarsh has been involved within F1 as part of the Lewis Hamilton Commission, while his new role at Aston Martin will see him lead its applied technologies business. Lawrence Stroll intends Aston Martin to win F1 World Championships, plain and simple, and I would not have joined him in that endeavor unless I was utterly convinced that it was an entirely achievable aim, he said. Haas finally confirmed in Sochi what it had intended to do all along, with Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin staying with the team in 2022 for continuity against the sport's huge technical shakeup. It's been a tough season for Haas, which sacrificed development in this transition year for maximum boost in the new era, with no points scored and no real hope of any in the last 7 races. But the team is confident in its approach and with the new car that it expects will lead it back to F1's midfield.
Now we're up to a good development rate, and I'm actually, optimistic that we will have a better season next year. Obviously, I don't know how good because I don't know what the other ones are doing. It's always this big question mark on that one. But I just can see similarities like that in the beginning when we came in and had good results, had points, and all that stuff.
Staying with Haas, where Nikita Mazepin has opened up on his fractious relationship with teammate Mick Schumacher, revealing their battle at the back of the grid forces them to fight tooth and nail over one position. Mazepin has clashed with Schumacher multiple times so far this season, but said in a chat with F1's official podcast Beyond the Grid, things aren't going to get any easier between them.
In any other category, what's the difference between P19 and P20? But because it's like all or nothing, I think that potentially impacts his approach to me. But yeah, I'd struggle to say more than that. It is what it is, and I don't know how many years we've got left together, but I don't think it's going to be a smooth ride.
Mazepin also spoke about the enduring quality of his battle with Schumi, which dates back to karting, though still put the boot into his teammate, referring to him as a kid, albeit a super talented one.
People don't remember, but it wasn't a smooth ride even then. I wanted to get to Formula 1 and win races, and so did he, and sometimes it was easier, sometimes it was more difficult, and sometimes we had tough moments. And even so now, I like Mick to the bottom of my heart. I think he's a super talented kid who's done an incredible achievement in his career.
The Monaco Grand Prix is set for a revamp next year, with its traditional format cut from 4 days with no F1 action on the Friday to 3, in order for it to be run back-to-back with Spain. Monaco has long begun on a Thursday, with the tradition dating back to the start of the World Championship in 1950, and was originally aligned with Ascension Day, but remained to ease traffic and ensure maximum business during the Principality's busiest weekend. But tradition has been cast aside for logistical reasons, with F1 keen to boost revenues and deliver a 23-round calendar. We're going to announce the calendar at the World Council on the 15th of October, said F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali. Iconic city Miami has confirmed its inaugural Grand Prix will take place on May 6 to 8 next year, likely as round 5 on the calendar. Miami, which inked a 10-year deal, will be the 11th location to host F1 in America, far more than any other nation, with the sport's first taste of the stars and stripes, the 1950 Indy 500. It will be the first time that F1 has raced in Florida since the 1959 United States Grand Prix at Sebring, which was Bruce McLaren's maiden win. And the hype surrounding the event has already kicked off. There is no doubt in my mind that the Formula One community and the sports fan base worldwide are going to be amazed by what they see next May, said Miami Grand Prix CEO Richard Cregan. The 2022 season is expected to start in Bahrain, with Saudi Arabia next. Australia is said to be penciled in as round 3 pending COVID issues, before China, Miami, Spain, and Monaco. Australian young gun Oscar Piastri has hinted that his chances of an F1 seat next year are fading, with just one open at Alfa Romeo Racing and cash likely to determine who gets it. Piastri, 20, is on course to secure the F2 title in his rookie season, which would be his 3rd straight crown after F3 and Formula Renault Eurocup. But his chief rival and Alpine stablemate Guan Yu Zhou is at the top of Alfa Romeo's shopping list, with the Chinese racer reportedly bringing in $35 million in sponsorship. All the moves in F1 are happening now or have already happened, so it's a bit disappointing the way it's kind of played out, because I really don't know what more I could have done, he said. F1's new era cars next year are set for an added boost in protection, care of an improved version 4 Halo that's stronger and better integrated to withstand even more serious crashes. The initially controversial cockpit protection device, which was introduced from the 2018 season, has been updated to endure higher loadings, with the car's minimum weight rising from 752 to 790 kilograms. It will also incorporate learnings from recent heavy crashes, including last year's Bahrain Grand Prix, in which Romain Grosjean speared through a barrier, his Haas car sheared in half and covered in flames. The Frenchman miraculously emerged with his only injuries, minor burns to the back of both hands, that didn't affect his early IndyCar tests.
It went okay. I mean, it's not, as I say, it's not perfect. There's a nice big blister on my left thumb, which is not pretty, but I mean, driving-wise, it was okay. It wasn't painful. I was being a bit careful on some of the curves. But generally hasn't been a limitation.
Former F1 driver Romain Grosjean has finished his first IndyCar season 15th in the standings, despite missing 3 oval races, while contact at Long Beach left him 24th at the flag. Grosjean, who will race for Andretti Autosport next season, ran as high as 4th, but hit the wall on lap 57, Colton Herta won the race, but Spaniard Alex Palau won his maiden title. Australian Scott McLaughlin was named Rookie of the Year. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.